Masuku, the former long-serving president of the People's United Democratic Movement, PUDEMO, in Eswatini, passed away this week. He served the movement for more than 22 years. To talk about his legacy, we are joined now by the current president of PUDEMO, Mlungisi Makhanya. Good morning, Mr. Makhanya, and condolences on the passing of Mario Masuku. Just give us a sense of what Eswatini and Southern Africa and the continent has lost in the passing of Mario Masuku.
Good morning, Thulasizwe, and thank you very much for having us on your show. The loss of President Mario Masuku is quite a colossal loss, not only for us, the people of Eswatini and PUDEMO, but for the people of the region and the continent. I think listening to you, Thulasizwe, as you were commenting on the Zimbabwean situation, one is tempted to quickly mention the fact that Zimbabwe did not just become what it is overnight. It is precisely because the leaders of the region, they allow these detractors to ruin their countries slowly but surely. Now, we were looking at the leadership of people like Comrade Mario Masuku to come and revive the African dream, because as the young people of the continent and of the region in particular, we continue to say this is not the liberation and the freedom that we were promised when we were waging the anti-colonial struggle. So the loss of Comrade Mario is a huge loss for the people of the region and the people of Eswatini in particular.
What made him the man of the moment in terms of pushing for some kind of democracy to be established in Eswatini? What are the character traits that made him suitable and that inspired so many people to follow him as a leader?
What made President Mario exceptional was his resilience. It was his love for the people. It was his never give up attitude. But most importantly, it was his incorruptibility. You know, Thulasizwe, the king in Swaziland attempted on numerous occasions to entice President Mario to join into the Tinkundla system in one form or other. But Comrade Mario remained resolute that it was never and it will never be about him, but it was always about the people of Eswatini. This was the convictions that made Comrade Mario not to even second guess the decision to withdraw from the Constitutional Review Commission, which was a structure that was set up not to come up with a constitution that was going to be all-inclusive for the people of Swaziland, but that was going to cement royal supremacy and give the king absolute power, but unclothed under a constitutional dispensation. But the other aspect of Comrade Mario was that he was an internationalist. Comrade Mario used to teach us that internationalism is about giving what you do not have. And it was exactly what Comrade Mario did. He decided to forego a middle-class life where he was a senior manager in a leading bank to be unemployed and lead the struggles of the people of Swaziland. He became a father figure to many young people who joined the ranks of the student movement and of Swayoko, the youth league of PUDEMO. And he inspired a lot of them who are today occupying serious positions in life. And that was Comrade Mario.
And there's a South African link to that story, isn't there? When the struggle for the democracy in South Africa and South Africa's freedom was raging, people such as Mario Masuku got their hands dirty in assisting that struggle. I imagine that in your conversations, that must have come up quite a lot.
Indeed, Bembe, it came out a lot. Comrade Mario got baptized into the struggles of the African people in the mid-70s, while he was still in Makosini. And it was just before the 1976 uprising, a situation that led to many South African who were freedom fighters escaping South Africa to go to neighboring countries. And then as Swaziland became one of those conduit countries for them to get into exile. And he interacted with them and they recruited him to be one of those underground smugglers of MK operatives. And it was this exposure that led to the conscientization of Comrade Mario and for him to join the struggles of the liberation of the African people. And yes, as you correctly saying, there is a link between the ultimate establishment of Pudemo and the South African struggles in South Africa, but also there were struggles that were taking place in Mozambique. So the story of President Mario can never be completely told outside the liberation struggles of the region, in particular Mozambique and South Africa.
Lastly, Mlungisi, what's your message to South Africans watching this who perhaps feel, you know, we've got a lot to deal with ourselves, corruption in this country, ineptitude in government, and, you know, the list goes on. Why does the struggle for democracy in Swaziland, in Eswatini, matter at this particular point? And what should we take from the death of Mario Masuku as the message to say, going forward, this should be our predisposition around the issue of democracy in Eswatini?
The message that we can set to the people of South Africa, Thulasizwe, is simple. South Africa will never prosper and thrive as an island of success in a region that is mired by problems. South Africa cannot continue to shut its eyes and ears to the problems that are engulfing the people of Eswatini, the people of Zimbabwe, the levels of corruption in Mozambique, because when all these things happen in these neighboring countries, what do the citizens of those countries do? They just jump the border and come to South Africa. So it is in South Africa's interest that South Africa must take a leading role in being the voice of reason, to speak out against these regional malgovernance that we are seeing. But most importantly, to ordinary South Africans, is to say, for instance, if I were to give the situation of Eswatini, you have got a South African who's serving 83 years in jail in Swaziland, Comrade Amos Mbete, for absolutely nothing. And South Africa cannot continue to ignore those sort of things, because what will happen is that people of those countries will come to South Africa and South Africa will never be stable. So South Africa needs to speak out. South Africa needs to be firm. South Africa needs to say to these countries they must be able to live true to the treaties and the agreements that they've signed to, in terms of the SADC treaties and the AU treaties around issues of human rights and democracy.
All right, thank you for that. That's Mlungisi Makhanya there, who is the president of Pudemo, paying tribute to the late Mario Masuku.